Okay, now that we have our gasket surfaces all cleaned up, wiped off, we're ready to go back together. Now what's nice about this water pump, and it's set up that way just because it's driven off the cam, is you have these dowel pins here, and one on the other side down there. Those actually line up on these holes. That'll get it straight on. Don't force it on. It should just go on nice and easy. As long as our cam gear's lined up. Just make sure it's on square. Once you get it started, don't force it, because we may have to turn the gear on the back of the water pump. I'm going to try to. There we go. Just wiggle it a little bit. Make sure it goes flush to the block. I need a light. See if this side's on. No, it's alright. See, that side's real close. And this side is not quite there. There we go. Just wiggle it with very slight pressure, and you can see now we're flush against the block. Now we can start installing our bolts. I'm going to start with the long ones. Get them started by hand. Okay, one thing we didn't show you, someone may see this and say, hey, you didn't put the gaskets on there. Well, we did. We put adhesive on it, on both sides of the gasket. Actually stuck it to the water pump. Then we installed it. We just forgot to show you because we were having a brain fart or something. I'll say I was.
We also put a new thermostat in here. It's 2.8 millimeters. And we put some sealer around it where the gasket is.
Yeah, John did.
And then we installed this temp sensor where it threads in down here. That's a 19 millimeter.
Yeah, he did that while I was cleaning up the gaskets. We have those started. Now what we have is we had the shorter one on the passenger side of the vehicle, or to your left if you're in front of the car. I had that in the hole. Nope, I missed. There we go. That explains why I didn't thread in. That one started, and then if you remember, we have the stud on the driver's side. And I mean this bolt that I'm turning in, not John, because he's on the driver's side of the car.
What the?
Anyway, we'll get this started. Now we'll just snug them all down a little bit at a time. Get those, we're going to go to this side so it goes on even. Because we want it to pull the pump on the rest of the way onto the camshaft gear square. We'll snug these down because we have 4 of them there. We can do this one here. this one. That one. And one more back here. The short one. Now we'll just check them all, make sure they all are tight. All right, now it's all tightened up. We just start reinstalling the things we took off. So we have the bracket, this one. This is the bracket that holds the smog pump. Let's see, how is this on there? That slides over that stud there. This one bolt in. That might be the wrong one. No, that's it. Get the
You just
whole.
got to lift it a little bit,
I
like
didn't
turn
have
it
it lined
this way.
up.
There you go.
Kind of hard to see from over here. Oh. There we go. There it is. I see. Putting the wrong piece in the wrong place. So it's this way. So, this plugged in. There's two studs here. One. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Maybe we need to switch sides.
All right.
Yeah, it's a lot easier that way. Just stay there. Get that snug. That one's snug. Now I'm looking at everything from backwards. Our grounds, don't forget to put those on, very important. Now when you tighten this down, they're going to want to twist as a rule, so I just kind of hold them with my thumb until they don't turn. Make sure that's nice and tight. Alright, now that I repositioned the smog pump, put it in the right way, that's why the holes didn't line up. Get that tightened down, just make sure you reach down here and plug this back in. This hose goes here. Where's my other one? Right here. We took that completely off, so that goes this way. That's here your air filter box. That on and squeeze this down. It's got like teeth on it. John can maybe get a good shot of the top one. It looks exactly the same. You can see the teeth lock it in. Doesn't need to be super tight because there's no real vacuum or anything holding it. It's not going to blow off. Alright, so now we just double check and make sure everything's hooked up. We got our coil wire on. Everything looks plugged in. Now we can start putting our coolant hoses back on. That one there, that one there. There's our upper radiator hose here. We'll do that after we put these clamps back on. Try to position it about where it was before. As far as position wise, you still want it on near the end. That's good. This top one in here. This was the fun one. Sorry.
That clamp wouldn't move.
No, it wouldn't come over the edge. So we'll just do it all at once. That should be like that. Now we have move some of these tools out of the way.
So here's your view if you'd be working on it. Okay, we still got to plug in our temp sensor right here. Okay, then we can proceed with the airbox.
Now we just put in our ductwork here. Goes onto the throttle body. This one goes next to the mass airflow sensor. Now, John, come over here. I'll show you something real quick before we put the rest of this together. During a bleeding, when you're bleeding it, if you have trouble getting all the air out, here's a bleed screw here at the top of the thermostat. Once the thermostat's open, you take your screwdriver, gently crack this open, and just watch for the air to come out. And then once the air bubbles come out, and coolant comes out, you close it, let it run some more, just do it a few times. That will help you to bleed it. I wanted to show you that before I put the rest of the ductwork back on, because otherwise you won't see it if it'll be covered up. We're going to tighten this one down before we put the rest on. Make sure we put our vacuum line there. Find our connector. Where'd it go? Back here. That. We'll take this. This needs to set in there. And you have to get these studs lined up in these holes up here all at the same time. Tighten that down real good. Put these on, we'll tighten these down. They don't have to be too tight, you can probably do them by hand. Really without any tools, as long as it's flush. And it won't move. Now all we have to do is fill it up, bleed all the air out of it. We'll rinse it all off when we're done. Make sure everything's clean, return this thing to the customer. That is a water pump replacement, a 1996 Chevy Impala Super Sport with a 5.7 LT1 motor in it. Hope this helped you do the job yourself, save you a little bit of money. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.